I had to leave my farm for a business trip, and now 12 days later, I'm back. Let's find out what's changed. Oh yeah, and today's video is sponsored by my friends over at ButcherBox.
Hey, Mr. Toby Dog. Good to see you, buddy boy.
How you doing, pal? Good to see you. Oof. Yeah, it was pouring rain in the middle of the night. Good to see you, my dude. How are you? So when I first got back from the airport at around 2 a.m. last night, I actually came out to visit Toby Dog. So this isn't the first time I'm seeing him.
But I most definitely missed him.
Come on, buddy boy. Let's go greet the day. Hey, Geese. How's it going? Hi, Ron Swanson. Parks and Recreation crew. Buff Goose crew. Oh, it's so good to see you and so good to be home.
Release the Quackers! Good morning, ducks. Good to see ya. How are you guys? Hey, Jemima. How are you doing? You guys are doing great.
Yeah, it's a nice muddy morning. You guys are gonna love this.
Now let's go wake up our other duck flock.
Release the Quacken!
You runner ducks are hysterical. So you remember all those ducklings we hatched out a couple of weeks ago? Or at least the moms hatched out a couple of weeks ago in the pasture? Here they are. They're all starting to look grown up. We got 8 new ducks in the flock. So you've got Puddles in the front. She's one of the moms. Then you got a couple of Cayuga Khaki Campbell crosses, and then you got a couple pure Khaki Campbells. Then you got the 2 Cayuga moms in the back. And yeah, they're all starting to form one big flock with our main flock of ducks. Pretty soon, I'm actually going to take them out of the nursery and just start locking them up here in the duck house. I find that this is the best way to try to integrate your flocks, is to do it nice and slowly, where they're spending time together in the yard, but I'm not forcing them together just yet. But eventually, these guys are going to all make one big flock.
And like I said, it's kind of hard for me to believe just how big they've all grown.
And speaking of growing big, let's check on our weird chickens.
How are you now, weird chickens? Here's some food, you guys.
These were our little baby silkies that were tiny, but now they're pretty much all grown. Looks like we have 2 hens and a rooster. So they're doing well. There's the dad, Penny, and Bernie, one of the moms. Linda, one of the other moms, and Rosie is actually, I think she's laying an egg in the back there. Yeah, they're a nice little happy family. Pretty soon I'm gonna actually do a little bit of an expansion project where their run gets probably about twice the size, maybe even 3 times the size.
So while I was gone, my farm sitter was my buddy Zach. He did an awesome job really with things. Just as I'm looking around here this morning, things are in pretty good shape. He did message me and told me that I have one girl who is not doing well. He said he found this lady here who was doing a limp, and so he put her in this hospital cart. Let's check on her. How are you doing, girl? Let me get you some fresh water. That'll be one thing we gotta do. Hang on, I'm just gonna check you out. See what's wrong. Oh dear. That's not good. That's not good at all. So I'm just looking at this gal right here, and it's looking like she's got a case of bumblefoot. I don't know if you guys can see that, like right here. See how there's that bump? It's probably very painful. So my theory is that's probably why she's limping. I've had to treat bumblefoot occasionally in the past, and so I kind of know what I need to do with her, but I don't know. I just hope I can save her because I'm catching it a little late right now. All right, back in you go, girl.
It's gonna be okay, don't worry. We're gonna get you fixed up.
So the initial way you try to treat bumblefoot is by soaking it in Epsom salts, and so I'll get her soaking a little later this morning. We got Ron Swanson and the rest of the Parks and Recreation crew all hanging out together. This is nice to see. I'm very happy to see the whole farm just very harmonious, doing their normal thing. Let's go check on our chickens. Morning, chickens. Rise and shine. How's it going there, General Washington? Barty, other Barty. Alexander Hamilton, I got some very negative reports on your behavior while I was gone. So Alexander can sometimes be a little bit of an aggressive rooster, towards people at least. He's usually actually really good with his birds.
But lately, he was getting aggressive with both Zach and my wife Allison while she was helping with the animal chores as well.
And right now, I probably don't need 2 roosters going into the winter, especially these 2 roosters. They've sired a whole bunch of offspring this year, and so I know I can let at least one of them go. And by let one of them go, I mean off to the freezer.
Someone will realize I'm gone and come looking for me.
Unless somebody out there wants a Bielenfelder rooster, so hit me up. Now I know the other group of animals you guys are probably dying to see how they're doing are the baby chicks. So when I left, I had some young chicks that were living inside that brooder, and they were about, I don't know, 3 weeks old? Yeah, about 3 weeks old. I have not opened that door in 12 days. I am very curious to see what they're looking like now. First, let me hit them up with some feed. A little extra feed to pick and scratch. Trying to fatten these guys up just as best as I can. Good morning, baby chicks. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you, and you're all so big. Did you guys look at them? They're doing so good. So this is our next generation of layers, as well as this winter's meat birds. So as you'll recall, I had all of my various chicken breeds crossbreed with either the Bielenfelder or Rhode Island Red Rooster. You can definitely see the different mixes starting to really show their colors. Like this one right here, I can tell he is a Bielenfelder New Hampshire Red Cross. I can see some Crevecoeur blood in here. There's I think a Leghorn Bielenfelder cross. Got a number of Cochin birds making appearances. You can tell by their fluffy feet. Like they got like little booties like this one right over there. They're looking really good. And they're actually big enough that I'm gonna keep this door open and let them actually wander out to here as well. I don't think they're gonna actually slip through. So I'm gonna let them get out and do their thing. You know, I gotta say, it's sort of overwhelming being back here now. I've missed this place so much when I was down in the Bahamas. I had to go there for a business trip, and it's very good to be back home around all my birds. I mean, as you guys saw in the last video, I was just going to visit flamingos to get some sort of bird connection, so it's nice to be back here with these guys. While it might seem nice to be out at a hotel in a tropical location, what I was really looking forward to the most was coming back here and doing my animal chores, coming back here and making dinner with Allison and just hanging out and having a nice quiet night here. That was the stuff that like made my heart ache and I really missed. And so it's so good to be home. And like, for example, tonight, I know I've got a whole package of meat from my good friends over at Butcher Box. And my plan tonight is to cook something up and have just a nice quiet meal with Allison. So I am super looking forward to that. Because for me, it's like being around here, working outside, being in there, having a nice meal. That's what home is.
Whenever you need a great tasting meal, you can trust today's video sponsor, Butcher Box, is in your corner delivering high quality meat directly to your doorstep. And right now, Butcher Box is running a special promotion where if you sign up today, you get free burgers, hot dogs, and chicken breasts in your first order. And I am super stoked to have some hot dogs for dinner tonight from Butcher Box. Butcher Box sources from farmers and fishermen who meet the highest standards for quality. And the way Butcher Box works is you choose your box and delivery frequency. They offer 5 different boxes, 4 curated box options, as well as the ever popular custom box, so you can get exactly what you and your family love. Butcher Box ships your order frozen at the peak freshness and packed in an eco-friendly 100% recyclable box. When you use Butcher Box, you can have high-quality meat delivered right to your doorstep and spend more of your time making amazing meals with your family and friends. This is a limited time offer, so act quickly and get just what you need for your last backyard barbecue of the season. Take home burgers, hot dogs, and chicken breasts for free in your first Butcher Box order. Check out the link down below, and thank you Butcher Box for helping support the Cattle Fund.
So as you guys might recall, right before I left, I had Carmen inside this chicken coop. I don't know, I guess I call it chicken coop. It's a goose house. It was Toby's house. It was a duck house at one point. And Carmen, my Cochin, she was starting to hatch out some baby birds of her own. She was sitting on a nest. Well, let's check in on Carmen and her little ones. Oh my gosh, you guys are doing so good. So the day I left, she had hatched 4 baby birds. Only 2 of them survived, but the 2 that survived are looking really good. How are you guys? Oh no. Little one, you slipped out. You got to get back with your family. There you go. All right, I'm going to leave this door open now, Carmen. You're ready to rejoin the world.
I'm gonna leave the door open.
I had Zach keeping you locked in here just to make sure you didn't get in any trouble. You had food and water. And now it's time for you and the little ones to go outside and greet the world. Yeah, these babies are, I guess, about 12 days old now. 13 days old, technically. Good job, Mother Hen. I'm really happy to see that. It looks like we have 1 pullet and 1 cockerel there. Ooh, watch out for that barred rock. So this is the point where she's going to start introducing her little babies to the rest of the flock. Hopefully they don't get beat up too much. It's funny, that white one is definitely the offspring of either Blanche or Dottie, our 2 leghorns. You can definitely see the relationship. And actually, the brown one is probably the offspring of that Rhode Island red, or I'm sorry, New Hampshire red, or the other one. The spotted one is also probably the offspring of our Bielenfelder, Alexander Hamilton. So cool to see how this stuff works genetically speaking and how they pass on their colors. You'll notice they give them like 1 little peck or 2 just to make sure that they retreat so that the pecking order is clearly established with the rest of the flock. Okay, I bet I got some hungry birds. Now you guys might be wondering what's happening in this big area over here. You'll notice that this whole area is now cleared out. And you're probably wondering what the heck is going on. And the answer is, I've decided that I want to actually start a bowling alley, like an outdoor bowling alley.
Let's go bowling.
So actually the real answer is, my buddy Alfred came by with his excavator the other day, continuing the work on the project we have going of building a new winter house for the geese and chickens right here in this spot that I'm standing. You guys know my buddy Alfred, right?
My buddy Alfred.
So my buddy Alfred has built this great invention that lets you bend, you know, standard fencing pipe like you see, like all that supply that I have right down there. And our plan is we're gonna bend it and turn it into a 100 by 20 hoop house that I can use to house the birds in the winter, grow some feed in the summer, and it should be pretty gosh darn cool in terms of how it works out. So Alfred has graded it so this surface area is nice and level. He's also created some channels so that we can direct the water flow out of here. You know, one of the biggest risks when you build a hoop house like this is you can have flooding problems, and so, you know, the earthwork stuff that he's in the middle of doing right now will help a lot of that. You can see there's just a whole host of rubble. It's amazing how much scrap and nonsense is still buried in our farm. Like this hose, I think it's like a gas line actually, was underneath there. The previous owners back in the day, they actually used to have greenhouses right about this spot. So it's not crazy that we're doing this. But they were not housing a whole bunch of chaotic and loud birds. So I guess that's the one difference. You'll start to see more videos come out on this topic as he and I actually get into formally building it. I think we're gonna start in the next couple of days. But while I was gone, he just did the excavator work so that we're ready to go to actually build everything. Oh, and in case you're wondering, part of the reason why it's so big is because I want to have it big enough that I can drive my tractor into it and use the tractor to clear things out and also use that to plant the stuff that I want to grow for feed. This structure is going to be very dual purpose on our farm. There are lots of ducks in the grass here. What's going on with these ducks? Hey Ron Swanson, are you just trying to lay some eggs down here? Do you have a stash of eggs? No. Doesn't look like it. Now I know probably the last group of animals you guys want a status update on are the barn cats. And how are the barn cats doing? And hold on, and I'll show you. But first I gotta feed Toby Dog.
Pablo continues to try to eat Toby's food. Even though I feed him on the regular, he's still obsessed with dog food. He actually had his vet appointment. The vet said he could definitely stand to lose a few pounds. So I gotta work on that. And that starts with not letting him eat Toby's food. No. There you go, Mr. Toby dog. This is for you.
Yes, you're a good boy. I missed you so much, pal. Oh, how I missed you. I'll brush you out when you dry off later today, okay?
You know, there's really nothing like coming home to the love of a good dog after a long trip. It just makes me so happy. I think me being back makes him happy too. Very mutual relationship.
I truly love you, pal. You know that? Yes, you do. Oh.
Pablo, I love you too, but you gotta get out of here, man. I'm sorry. Come on. Come on, Pablo. Come with me. Come on, Pops. Here you go, buddy boy. Just a little bit. I don't want you to go overboard. You know, I think Pablo is kind of a victim of his own success. You see, he's caught so many rodents this summer. I think he just is overeating between just a regular batch of feed for a cat because he needs to be fed, plus the mice, plus sneaking Toby's food. And so I'm gonna try to manage things with him. I mean, heck, just like right before I left on my trip the other, I guess 2 weeks ago now, I was out here working on some stuff and Pablo caught like 3 mice in the span of an hour. It was insane. I was just sitting out here kind of near the clotheslines working on something and he'd come out, he'd have a mouse, then he'd have another mouse, then he'd have another mouse. He's a victim of his own success, really. How's my kitty cat girls doing? I can see Ginny sticking her paw out. Hang on, watch your paw there, girl. Hey, girls. How are you doing? You're never gonna guess what today is. So I think when I last left you guys, Molly Barncat had just had her surgery to get fixed. And so I had her in there recovering. The recovery period was somewhere between 7 and 10 days, my vet said. And so I didn't want to risk having them be released free when I wasn't around. But this morning is now the day, and I'm going to set them free. Come on, girls. I'm taking the netting off your house. You're free to go. Hi, Jin Jin. How do you like that freedom? Yep, free to explore. You got a whole barn, you got a whole farm. Please try to stay safe and don't range too far. This area is going to continue to be your safe space. I'm going to continue to provide you with food and water right here. Molly, why are you being a bully to Ginny? Jin. Aw, it's okay. I don't know what changed. They used to eat together every day. What's up with that? Come here, girls. Is it because I changed your feeding location? Here, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna put it right back in here. Yeah, we're gonna try to feed you right where I usually do. Huh. And now they're fine, like they usually are. That's so weird. Like if I try to feed them out there, they fight. If I feed them down here, they're fine. See, now they're totally copacetic. I don't get it. I feel like there's so much about animal behavior I still just don't understand. That's kind of why I love doing this. I feel like each day I'm out here with the animals, it's like a new lesson. Go figure, that was so weird. I don't know, if anybody has any theories about what that's all about, let me know. I just hope Molly doesn't become so mean to Ginny that she chases her away. There's enough room on this farm for everybody. And speaking of which, I wonder if Pablo Barncat's heading up here. It looks like he finished his food down there. So he's probably somewhere at large. I know that there's gonna be some cat tensions that start to crop up around here. But I guess I'm gonna have to report on that one in a future video. So stay tuned. And thanks for coming back. And I'm so glad to be back. And I'll be back with another video very, very soon, guys.